Very boho, right? Darling little boho vest. It leads to very beautiful, wonderful things, okay? Welcome back to my studio where we relish in our crafts. Today's upcycle project is going to be this Liz Claiborne jacket. It is a faux velvet jacket. It says it's 100% cotton. This external fabric is. I really love the buttons. They remind me of mandalas. Mandalas to me are very boho. I've given this a lot of thought. I've had some time to sit on it while I had it cleaned, and now I'm like, okay, I'm committed to what I think I'm going to want to do to it. And I obviously, if you've been here, know that I love a boho aesthetic. If you are new here, I hope you stick around, and I also hope that you have a boho aesthetic, as it might be one of the best ones ever. The first thing that I'm using to upcycle my jacket is this scarf. I love all of the colors of it. It is very thin, so I'm going to have to iron on and interfacing onto it to make cutting out the florals on this a lot easier. I'll hold it up so that you can see it. Very boho, right? I love all the vibrant colors, the florals. I love everything that's going on in this scarf. Now, the second thing that I'm going to add to this is this darling little boho vest. I have no information on it. There is no tag. I am in love with this piece. I've had it for a while and it's just too small. Once you put it on, it's like the back isn't wide enough. The armholes cut into your underarms. It's uncomfortable, but it's so beautiful. So the idea that I have is that I'm just going to cut it up into 3 parts. I'm going to cut the front panel off and add it to some part of the blazer. I will cut the back piece off and add it to the back of the blazer. Now, once I get that on, I'll know exactly where I want the florals. So the first thing that I'm going to do is iron on the interfacing to the scarf so that I can go ahead and cut some of the artwork out, and then I will lay it onto the blazer, decide where it is that I want it. Easy enough, right? I'm hoping that I've done this enough that I could get through a project without any hiccups. That would be amazing. I don't strive to have any hiccups, okay? I want to have a very smooth process and go straight to the style up. I don't know if that's going to happen today. I hope so. I hope that everything goes well and there are no hiccups, and it's just going through the process of getting things on. So first, I'm going to get my interfacing onto this scarf so that I could start cutting out some art and deciding where I'm going to put things on the blazer. Now, I'm not going to touch the sleeves. I don't think it's necessary. Maybe. Actually, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Okay? I think that that's a common denominator here in my studio, is that I don't know. And I change my mind often, okay? And I hope you're okay with that. I hope that you enjoy that, okay? Because I do. And it leads to very beautiful, wonderful things, okay? First, the scarf, okay? Let's get started on that. So far, this is where I'm at. I added the front panels of the vest to the front of the jacket. And I also added the back of the vest to the back, right? And then this is just that piece that I cut out from the scarf. It wraps around to the front. They're slightly different, right? The florals are clustered together slightly different. It's not a very exact design. And so it's slightly different, but you get the idea. I'm never ever going for perfection here. I really like where this is going. It's incredibly bright and colorful. I went ahead and took out the seam that was holding the lining to the jacket. That way I could get in here and sew all of my applique on without affecting the lining. I would not be able to just sew the lining to the jacket without it affecting the fit too much. And so this is where I'm at. Now I'm going to take more pieces of the scarf. I mean, we could call it done here, but we're maximalists here. What I'm thinking about doing, the scarf has these little blue flowers kind of floating around the maroon. I'm thinking about possibly cutting some of those out and just randomly placing them on the jacket. I'm going to take more of this scarf and keep adding to it. I think that I could probably hand stitch some stuff to the cuffs so that there's something going on there. I could probably add something to the collar and maybe to the pocket, as it has two front little square pockets. Probably add a little bit of applique there. This is the majority of what I had envisioned done. Now I just need to go ahead and add some finishing touches. It's looking good. I'm very happy with how it came out. It took some time and just careful pinning of the applique onto the jacket. I'm going to keep going here and then I'll keep capturing some snippets of my progress, but I'm very happy with where it's at right now. Excited to have it done and style it up for you, as I'm already thinking like, what am I going to pair this with? So let me get going so I can finish this up for you. There wasn't very much interesting to share because I was hand stitching a lot of these elements onto the jacket. What I could sew on with the machine was the more larger pieces, like the vest panels in the front and the vest panel in the back. I just did a little bit of fabric yoga, got it under the needle, and was able to sew that on. I couldn't machine sew any part of the sleeve, so I had to hand stitch it all. and that's fine. I'm looking forward to the little appliques fraying around the edges. I love that look personally. And I added some florals to the cuffs. I think that it looks really beautiful. I'll get you some close-up shots of all this too. I was done utilizing the applique from the scarf. I just went into my fabric stash and was looking around like, okay, what else could I use that kind of goes with this vibe? And I have this piece of fabric that I thrifted. I thought it looked perfect for this project. And as you can see, I love this fabric because there's squares and diamonds that make it easy to cut out. And I cut out these blue diamonds and this red one. And also these little squares here. That fabric was perfect for this project. The little green squares with the flowers I used here on these pockets, I think they look perfect there. Now those blue diamonds, I thought this lapel area was perfect for it. And the red one on the collar. It's a lot, but then there's also a lot of negative space here. I love the illusion that the vest is giving to the blazer. Once I got all that on there, it was done. But I just took one last glance at my stash and I had this very limited piece of fringe. It looks like it could have been for upholstery. I'm not sure, but I liked how like short it was, but fringy at the same time. As you can see, I added it to the bottom of the blazer and I think it finishes it off perfectly. I am very happy with this and how it came out. I styled it up with a pair of upcycle pants and a long skirt. And I think it went well together. I hope you'll let me know what you think about it. I'm pretty excited about it. I love it so much. I'm going to get you some close-up shots of my project here so you could get a better idea of the details on it. I have plenty of other videos available for you to watch and enjoy. I have a video on how it is that I made this headpiece or this caftan out of a tablecloth if you're into that sort of thing. I hope this inspires you to just play around with some of the fashions that you have, whether they're new or thrifted. You know, sometimes I buy new things. Not everything I own is thrifted, and it doesn't have to be. But I hope that this encourages you or inspires you to give it a shot to upcycle something that you may already own. And if I did inspire you to give it a shot, I hope you'll share it with me. I'd love to see whatever it is that you've created. I'll have another styling video up for you next. And thank you for watching my video. I love you for that. And until my next video, I'll see you next time. Bye!